back at film of the first game, and they said it was actually really beneficial to play a team like the Warriors. Just obviously offensive minded, shot a lot of threes. Do you feel the same way? It's almost like a blessing.
Yeah, it is, and I spoke about this already, but they put a lot of pressure on you defensively. They put a lot of pressure on your transition defense. They put a ton of pressure on your half-court defense with their movement, with their ball movement, with their player movement. And so I knew that it would be a real challenge playing against them, and it'll be a challenge playing against them all year, just because that's what they do, and they're really the best at it. So it was eye-opening for us. Some of the things that we knew we needed to continue to work on, and it's just a process, and it'll be that way. When you're trying to change habits and change things that you've been doing for a long time, it takes a while. So it was good to have that game.
Chauncey, I know you can't really comment on particulars of the news story today, but just on a day-to-day level, like what kind of challenge does it present to have one of your assistants suddenly not be available and not be with the team?
Well, of course it's a challenge. You get into a rhythm, who's in the building, who's on the floor, who's doing this, who's doing that. So, of course, it's a challenge.
What kind of things were you having him do?
I can't hear you.
What kind of things were you having him help do? Like, what's he?
Well, he got a few guys that he worked with day to day. Game type things. He's charting different things during the game. He's helping with some of the game prep things on both sides. So, same kind of things that you have all assistant coaches do.
Can you comment at all on the situation?
Well, there's nothing for me to really comment on. It's obviously it's very unfortunate, to be in that situation. Obviously, I've known Milt since college, forever, So it's really, really unfortunate. Obviously, it's a federal investigation, a federal case, or whatever you want to call it. So there's not much that I know about it. Learned about it when I came in the gym to come work out this morning. Probably at the same time that you all learned about it. So there's not much for me to say about it. I don't know much about it.
When you talk about changing habits with guys, like what are the difficulties with that, and how do you kind of approach that in terms of they're just so used to doing a certain thing, but you get them to change their mindset?
Yeah, the difficulties with that is, when you have them in a practice and you can kind of 5-on-0 go through stuff, or you can have a controlled scrimmage, you can monitor it and stuff. But just like anything else, when you actually get in the fire, you go to your instincts. You go to what you're used to. And so you start doing things that you're comfortable doing, and we have to fight against that, and it's tough to do, especially you're in a game and say a team goes on an 8-0 run on you or 10-2 run on you. You start thinking like, okay, let me just do this to get us back in it, and then maybe I can get back to doing. And it doesn't really work like that, So there's some growing pains involved in that we all have to be realistic about, and we all have to be patient with as well.
Is that something you would talk about in timeouts, or do you wait till look at film after?
No, those are things that you talk about in timeout situations. Talk about at halftime, obviously the next day, when you can actually show it. You talk about it then too.
I know obviously we've all talked so much about how defensive-minded you are, especially this season, getting these guys into those habits you talked about. Something I noticed at your first preseason game was Roy attacking the huddle, and while you kind of chatted with the other head coaches, or other coaches, is that kind of to remind defenses first and foremost?
Yeah, well, the kind of way that I see it is when a timeout happens, obviously, whatever's going on, whether the defense is playing amazing or they're struggling, the first point that I want Roy to go hit is to talk about what we need to do or keep doing, or let's change this or whatever. That's the first part of the timeout while I'm, meeting with the guys and thinking about what to run or who to attack or what to, who to get a shot. And then he'll, come back in and let us know we good. I told him, I talked to him, and then I'll address the team.
It's by design then. Obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
How did Nasir respond in the last couple of days after the result?
Yeah, Nas and I spoke, and it was, like I had said after the game, I felt poorly for him because he had been working so dang hard, and he's had such a good camp, and what he wanted to do is go out and show everybody that. So he just wanted it too hard, he wanted it too bad, and I talked to him. We talked a little bit about it because I wanted to know what he thought about it, and he just said, "Coach, I was just so antsy, I was just so antsy. I just wanted to do so well." And I understood that, I understood that 100%. So he kind of got beside himself a few times, done some things that he doesn't usually do, like ice on right here, taking 10 dribbles and taking a shot. And like I showed him, Nas, that's just not your game. That may be a level you want to get to, but right now, that's not your game. You get out in transition, you run ahead, you make extra effort plays, you spot up, you can shoot that, you make those shots, you open, shoot it. If not, you're driving, you're kicking. So we had a good conversation. He's been good, man.
Is there a time in your career that you can remember where maybe you were younger and not as established and you were kind of trying to prove that you should get more playing time and you were like forcing stuff a little bit?
Of course. There's several times in my career at a young age that I wanted to do that, I think that's what's so good about me being able to, I can actually relate to pretty much almost 100% of these guys. And where they are, I can meet them where they are right now, because I remember that mindset, which is why I had a patience that I have with them. Like, I get it, I understand, but let's try this, So, yeah, I definitely can remember those days.
In our, sorry.
Did Norm or Tony go today?
No, they both shot and worked out and stuff, but when we scrimmaged and all that, they didn't go.
In terms of what you were just talking about, like connecting with players because you've been there before on the broadcast on the game when Kevin and Lamar were talking about training camp and how watching and listening to you, it's not you say I've been there before, not by saying back in my day, like
Yeah.
forcing it like when I was playing. How do you like navigate that so it's not so much?
Well, Brooke, just that way, I'm not gonna ever spend a lot of time talking about what I did, who I was as a player. Back when I played, we did this. Now I may joke and tease with the guys a little bit, but like in all seriousness, though, I don't want to do that. But I do want them to know that I get it and I feel you. I remember that feeling. I remember that space. Here's what I did. And I think that's just different than like, man, I had 40. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll never be that guy. I'm a has-been as far as that's concerned.
It's a special talent though to be able to connect with them without forcing that issue.
Yeah. Well, I try. I try. I keep trying. I'm learning every day. For real, I'm learning every day about it.